Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our final broadcast for today. We have a boot camp session tonight at 9 o'clock. And Alan, good morning. Alan is in Australia, and Doug is in Tacoma, Washington. So welcome. For those of you that are watching this on Facebook and LinkedIn, I want to ask you a question. I want you to think about this. What, for those of you that are in network marketing, what is holding you back? Okay. What? Let me pop over here. And I'm going to pop over here. Let's bring up, we got Daryl. Daryl is here. And Doug is here. We go on LinkedIn. Okay. So let's do Daryl first. Let me unmute Daryl.
Okay.
Okay. So you sent me a text. Let me. Now, now working with you, I learned, which is one of the things that I love about working with people at the coaching level, is I get to learn, so much about a person. And you shared with me something that I didn't know before, which was when you were younger, you were an incredible athlete. I think you said you were a football player. What were some of the sports that you were involved with?
Football, lacrosse. They were my two favorite. Track and field. Obviously, I was the fastest person in Eastern Ontario.
Hmm.
I like to compete. I like to win. And I feel like I'm not winning here because I can't get into LinkedIn to do stuff to generate the business I know I can do.
Right,
I
right.
mean, I saw this the first time I saw this from you, Max. I got it. And I just need, and then LinkedIn has locked me out ever since.
Well, not that it make you feel any better. You're not alone. Okay. And you also know that in the end, it's going to be worthwhile because again, LinkedIn is going through their thing and you're caught up in a tidal wave of this organization. And, the other day, actually it was yesterday, we heard from Sandy Cohen, who was one of the top earners in a company called Zango. I mean, she's helped dozens of people become $1 million earners in network marketing. And then one day she got an email from the company she was with him for something like 14 or 15 years. She gets an email, we're no longer going to be in business. Everybody in Zango is, the company has been acquired by a company called Zija. She didn't have anything to say about it, didn't know anything about Zija, but now she's got this huge organization, and her options, frankly, were either help keep your organization together, we got to start working with Zija. If not, all the work that she'd put in, all the relationships that she had built were gone. So she bit the bullet, went over to Zija. Was with Zija for 3 years, and then Zija became part of Isagenix. Again, another move totally out of her control. She didn't like Isagenix. And she didn't like the fact that she had no control over the choices. Isagenix is a wonderful company. They've got great products, but it's not something that she would have picked. And so, again, she made the decision, I'm going to go find something that I can be passionate about. I'm going to jump in it, and I'm going to start building it. And because of all the people that she knew in her business, she was able to leverage her connections, her contacts, and put people who would follow her anywhere into this new business. Now, she loved social media, and she had a little bit of a problem. I remember when we first started working together, and this is on LinkedIn, I think it must have been about 12 or maybe 14 years ago. She went crazy. One day she sent out 700 connection requests. Now, they didn't shut her out. They didn't shut her down back then. Today, if she tried that, they'd shut her down after she sent out 100. But she did something, and they not only shut her down, they shut her account down. So now, but that's nothing compared to, your circumstance, your situation. The thing is, you've been successful in the past, and you have completely ignored social media. I mean, now you're getting your page going, and now you did this. I mean, we set it up initially. You did something, they closed it. You went back on your own and started putting this thing back together. So if you look at the things that you know today that you've learned, and what are we talking about? November, December, January, half of February. Look at all the things that you've learned. But the thing that made you successful as an athlete was A, your competitive spirit. B, you didn't just wake up one morning, decide that you wanted to get into track and field and go out there and start winning races. You had to practice. You had to develop stamina. You had to learn, different things. But once you learned it, then it was a repetitive thing. Yes, it's frustrating with what's happening to LinkedIn, and it's no joy to know that you're not the only one. But we are working our way through it, and there are a number of alternatives to get you on LinkedIn, and we're gonna basically, do one. If that doesn't work, then we're gonna try another approach. If that doesn't work, we're gonna try another approach until you're able to set up an account, because the power. And you've got a great story, so it's just a matter of putting yourself out there and making it happen. Okay?
Till we win.
Exactly. Exactly. In fact, let me do this. For those of you, I'm going to put Daryl's Facebook link in the chat. And for those of you that are not connected to him yet, find him on Facebook, send him a connection request, a friend request, okay? Because one of the reasons why you're going to want to be his friend is because I haven't devoted a lot of time to Facebook over the last 2 years because LinkedIn is just so incredible. But we are working with Daryl in setting up his account. I've seen things that Facebook is doing that they've changed. And so you want to be connected to Daryl because some of the posts he's going to make and some of the things he's going to do are going to be things that you're going to want to do. Let's come back over and let's look at Doug. So let me unmute. So, yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Doug.
Good afternoon, Max. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I can hear you fine.
Good.
So what is it that you do?
I'm a business strategist that focuses on helping business achieve profitability by cost reductions and access to capital.
Okay. And Can Do Ventures, I like the name. And
Thank you.
you've been doing this for, well over 10 years. Wow. So you're a council member for the city of Tacoma.
Yeah, served 10 years in elective office and worked on managing billion-dollar budgets and economic development projects.
Mm-hmm. Boy, a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have changed since you held that office.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, are you involved in any kind of direct sales or network marketing venture? Or is this your business?
I'm a member of one group that's a traditional multi-level marketing organization, and others are another one has the network of services that I am hired as an event strategist, as an independent contractor. And I do have the availability to build my own agency by adding people, but it's more of an insurance office structure rather than your traditional network marketing.
Is that World Financial Group?
No.
Okay.
That one's Stride.
Okay. So why are you doing that?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but when I started Can Do Ventures, I was focused totally on being a commercial loan broker, and I realized that some of the loan business that I wasn't closing was because my clients didn't have enough equity to qualify for the size loans they were going for. So I worked on also building connections to help guide them towards some equity sources. Make a long story short, I got burned. I had put $750 million worth of deals together with one private equity firm based in Hong Kong, and they pulled out at the last minute after I'd put in 2 years' work, invested my own money, done all kinds of travels to represent them, found the deal sources. We met together multiple times, and they backed out. So I had run up all kinds of debts to cover all that big growth and the big commissions, multi-million-dollar commission checks I was going to earn, and lost it all. So I refocused and put a de-emphasis on the lending business because that industry has changed quite a bit, and started to focus on, did do some contract work for a couple of consulting firms, and then made Can Do Ventures a source for providing solutions for business owners, both large and small, that are struggling. And I wanted to have sources of solutions that didn't require my clients or prospects to have to invest money up front. We prove results, we deliver results, and only get paid after the client achieves the objectives that we've laid out for them, and put money in their bank accounts basically through the cost saving measures. So it's because I'm starting over, if you will. And I love working. I love the financial services industry. I love being able to help others succeed and prosper myself when they are also prosperous.
So you've been doing this Can Do for 10 years?
Yes, started that, focused primarily on the funding side. And then in the last year, basically, I've been working on building the network, the systems, the relationships to be able to offer a variety of cost-saving solutions and cost-saving and revenue-generating solutions, such as tax credits. Well, I don't want to, I could take too long to describe all of the different services, and you probably don't want me to describe that anyway, but.
Okay. So have you been able to generate any business off of LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, yes to the answer for the lending business. When I was really ramping that up, I can give LinkedIn credit for probably generating 98% of that $750 million worth of business and the relationships that were required to do that. I am now trying to slowly chip away at modifying my LinkedIn profile to attract relevance, trust, and build rapport with the kind of people that I want to serve, both for lending if they're interested, or the access to capital, but for the cost saving services. And it's not working as well for me now. Reestablishing contact with people that I built in, connections to over many years, and to attract and build rapport with new clients. But it's been so successful for me in the past. Pretty much all my marketing efforts have been through LinkedIn, other than direct messaging through email and phone calls. But I found that I actually did away with my website because it was so unproductive. It was just a waste of time and money. LinkedIn was the most important website that I have. And now I've got a number of landing pages that address the particular services without having to distract them with the others.
Well, you've got over 18,000 followers, which would imply that you got 18,000 connections. And so a lot of these people could very well lead you to new business. In fact, let me do this. Let me, if you could text me in the chat your phone number, I can give you a call.
Okay.
And make some suggestions, because See what the purpose of a profile on LinkedIn, for that matter on Facebook too, is to become the person that the people that you want to do business with would want to know. Okay,
Yeah.
it's and that's in your case. Let me just write that down before I get. And so once you make those modifications, it's your cover or your banner, as they like to call it. It's your picture. It's your headline, which you have here. And when we get down to your about section and then your history, you've got a history that would give you credibility with anybody that you talk to. Okay, and that's huge. So with what you've already discovered is you've already discovered the value of LinkedIn for your particular niche. And with a couple of changes, frankly, there's no limit, to how big your business can grow. So I'll give you a call a little later. Now, what I want to talk about today, and I'm addressing all of you that are involved in a network marketing business. And in looking at the folks that are here. Now, this morning, we heard from Richard, who opened up and talked about what was holding him back. Okay? So, talk to me. What's holding you back? We opened up, I think, Richard, we identified what was holding him back. What's holding you back? You have a business, doesn't cost a lot of money to get in. The one thing that holds most people back from network marketing is not having people to talk to. Well, thanks to LinkedIn and Facebook, that's not an issue. It's not a problem. We have unlimited access to people. So what's holding you back? Type it in the chat. We're halfway through the month of February. How many people did you enroll in your business in January? How did you end 2019? and 23. Are you hitting your goals? What's holding you back? Okay. So Richard writes, it's hard for people to open up about their weakness. Well, I'm not going to bring you up on the screen like I did with Richard. So nobody's going to know. Okay. But Richard, to tell you the truth, you want to be successful in this business. You have to identify what's holding you back. Or else you're just spinning your wheels. Now, I talked a little bit this morning about someone that I spoke to that had invested $10,000 with a mindset coach. Okay, $10,000. She was 6 months into the program. So I asked her, how's it going? And she said she wasn't happy with the results she was getting. And I pointed out to her, because she was trying to decide whether to jump into one of my boot camps. And I said, you know what you have to do to change your mindset? Start making sales. Okay? You aren't born knowing how to walk. All right? Some of us, learn to walk faster than others, but you kept trying until you learn how to walk. When nobody is born with the experience or the knowledge to drive a car. But when you want to learn how to drive a car bad enough, you learn. So when it comes to mastering social media, let's see what we got here. Okay, so Carolyn writes, confidence. I'm getting better every day, but can confidence. Answering paralysis. Anybody else? What's holding you back? Huh. You want somebody to do it for you. Let me unmute.
Hey, Max.
Caroline,
How
so
are you?
I'm good. So I'm reading this. I need someone to do it for me. Good luck on that. And it's all about my frame of mind, because I had 5 people that I wanted you to answer for me. And I did it today. So you were able to do it?
Yeah, so it basically I get this sort of paralysis where someone gives me a message and I'm like, oh gosh, like I don't think I can have the right answer. I'm gonna say the wrong thing. Like I need to wait to go on an Ask Max session, you know?
Mhm.
And then I'm like, I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. So it's like fear of making a mistake. And then I I just let it sit there. And then this morning I had like an hour or 45 minutes, and every single person that I wanted you to do, I just jumped on and I just did a really good job. And I just was in like a good mood and had like great confidence. So it's like, you know, I don't really, it's not that I don't know what to say. It's just that I need to get it out of myself, if that makes sense.
Well, it does, but see, here's the thing that all of you need to understand. All right, and especially those of you that don't like to sell. All right, the truth is, selling is easy. Selling is easy. You all have something that you're passionate about. Okay, passionate to the point that you would tell people about this for free because you know it could help them. Now, it's not about selling. It's about determining if there's an opportunity to sell. In other words, the people that you have in front of you, the people that you're talking to, everybody has needs. Okay? Everybody has needs. And so when you're talking to someone, all you have to do is identify the other person. Do they need what you have? What are their issues? What are their problems? And if they have problems or issues that could be solved by working with you, it's a wonderful thing. If they have a problem or an issue that can't be solved by working with you, then there's nothing to do. You can't help everyone.
Great. That's super relevant to me because I seem to think that everyone needs what I have and that
Well, in
I will
theory,
identify their, I will, you know, whether they're like, yeah, you get what I'm saying.
yeah, but in theory, if you're in a health and wellness company, then you'd like to think that, man, everybody could use the products. But you're not just looking for customers. You're looking for somebody that wants a business, okay? That can get passionate and excited and see the value of your company and your products. But you're looking for someone that wants it, can use it, and could run with it. I had a call this morning. I'm telling you, it made my day. I heard from a young man that 5 years ago went through one of my boot camps. He was 24 years old. And he was trying to build a network marketing business, and he made a living selling cars. And after going through 3 boot camps and figuring out, learning the ins and the outs, he wanted to sign up for my coaching program, but it was out of his reach. So he went to his boss, a man that owned the car lot. He was a car dealer. And he convinced his boss that working with me would improve his sales skills to where he would be a better car salesman. And he wanted to borrow the money from his boss. So I end up in a three-way call with his boss. And the kid was also building a network marketing business. But again, there was an application. What I teach not only works for your network marketing business, it works for anything that you do. So, talking to his boss, and his boss says, well, how can you help? How can you help him? And I said, well, we're going to change the way he sells. And his boss says, how do you do that? You know, what is the approach that you take? And I said, it's simple. The average car salesman wants to sell a car. He wants to sell the cars that are on the lot. So when people get on the lot, they're looking for a car. And the average car salesman wants to sell them something on the lot. And that's not how you sell cars. Yes, it's the way you sell cars on the lot, but this is a relationship business. So when somebody comes on the lot, I'm going to teach them to establish a relationship with the person. In other words, how can I help you? Are you planning on buying a car today? And if not, what kind of car are you looking for? And nobody likes going to car dealers. In fact, that's why now people are buying cars over the internet. And so what you do is you let the customer know that if we don't have the car on the lot, I have access to all kinds of vehicles. I know how troubling it is to go from car dealership to car dealership. Now, I'm not going to hound you. I'm not going to bother you, but if you let me work for you, I will find you the exact car you want at the exact price you want. So let's talk. When would you like to buy the car? What kind of car are you looking for? And if we don't have any on the lot, it's okay. You know, we're a dealership. Well, the kid became the top salesman for the company. Not only did he become the top salesman for the company, he was living in Arizona and he became the top salesperson in the region, getting all kinds of awards. And he called me up and he said, you know, Max, I'm getting repeat business. People are coming back to me when they're ready to get another car. It's the same concept. It's the same concept. So his boss loaned him the money for coaching. And what was fascinating was the kid did such a great job that when it came time to repay his boss wouldn't take the money. He was that thrilled with what he'd accomplished. Anyway, he called me, you know, to tell me that now he manages a dealership for his boss. And now he's training people. He loves the car business. Okay. Loves the car business. Network marketing, he's still involved with the same company that he was in. But his effort has been in his career selling cars. That's his passion. He's making a couple of $1,000s a month in his networking business, but it's not his first important focus. Now, most people today in network marketing that don't achieve their goals are doing network marketing part-time. So they've got income coming in from their full-time job. And so as long as they've got income coming in from that full-time job, the urgency to get something done. You know, someday, you know, if I don't do it today, I can do it tomorrow. And we talked earlier today with Richard, and he was candid enough to admit that he wasn't treating his networking business like a business. And I used the example of the Spanish conquistador Cortez, who sailed from Spain with an army to conquer Mexico. And when they landed on the eastern coast of Mexico, burned the ships, burned them. And he told his officers and his men, we either conquered this country or we're going to die here. If you want to build a business, you have to treat it like a business. First and foremost, you have to understand, how do you make money? What do you have to do to make money? How many people do you have to bring into your business? Set a realistic income goal. You want to make $1,000 a month? You want to make $2,000 a month? You want to make $2,000 a week? What do you have to do to earn that money? How many people do you have to talk to? And then, as if your financial life depended on it, because it does, it comes down to how many people are you talking to every day? How many people? Now, the better quality people you talk to, obviously, the more successful you're going to be. So you have to develop a clear idea as to who would be a good prospect for your business. Who are the people that you're looking for? Who? God knows you have an unlimited access to people. All you need is a profile. And you're now free to go out and reach out to people that, based on who they are, based on what they do, based on what they say they do, they're there. Now, unlike going out to events, meeting people, the advantage of a social network is you know all about the person that you think is a prospect. Certainly know more about them than if you met them at any kind of an event. The beautiful thing is they know what you want them to know about you. So when you appear to be the person that's successful, when you appear to be the person that has the experience to help them achieve what their goal is, whatever that goal is, you're halfway there. Then it's just a matter of having a conversation. Now, social media, you know, you're going to hear people come on and they go, you know, Max, I signed up 3 people this week. 3 people. Well, there's a story behind every story. It wasn't like they logged on, sent a message to somebody, they wrote back, sent another message, they wrote back, sent 3 or 4 messages in the space of 20 minutes. They scheduled an appointment to talk on the telephone, and boom, they sign them up in the business. It doesn't work that way. Every time you make a connection with somebody, you are planting seeds. And the more seeds you plant, the faster your business is going to grow. Now, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, to stop you from making 5 connections a day. 5 connections a day, Monday through Friday. That's 25. Every month, you should be adding a minimum of 100 people. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at picking the right people. It's a skill you're going to learn. You know, I used to live across the street from a park where, when I went to high school, we used to do our track stuff there. Okay, it's a 1/4 mile track. All right, now, if I went down there tomorrow to run around that track, no way I could do it. All right, because I'm totally out of shape. If I wanted to be able to run a 1/4 mile, I would have to exercise, and then I would have to get out on that track and run around the track. Probably walk around the track more than I'd run, but ultimately you build up stamina, and then with repeated effort, you increase. By the same token, if I wanted to do 50, I used to be able to do 100 push-ups. If I wanted to do 100 push-ups today, no way I could do it. So you start, you do 10 push-ups, or as many as you can do. And then the next day, or you skip a day, and then the next day you do the same number. The next day you skip, let's say you do it 3 times in a week. And then the following week, you raise the number. Instead of going for 10, you go for 12. Instead of going for 12, you go for 15. You're developing stamina with repeated effort. And that's what happens here. That's what happens. And every time you talk to someone, every time you have a conversation with someone, you're going to come away. It's a learning experience. And when you mess it up, that's a learning experience. I'll never forget, I was chatting with someone who was an editor of a magazine and so incredibly sharp. And we were texting back and forth, and it was 9:30, almost 9:45 at night. And finally, I just said, listen, my fingers are killing me. Would you be up for talking on the telephone? Because we were having a great conversation. And gave me your phone number, and I called him. And immediately, I went into sales mode, and I started to pitch my business. And I could hear it in her voice. Okay? Her enthusiasm for talking to me just was gone. And I mean, what I needed to do was I needed to maintain the conversation, learn more about her, find out what she needed. Again, this was in the early stages of building my business. And ultimately, she ended up disconnecting me as a friend on AOL. You learn from every conversation. You learn from every encounter. It's practice. I bring up that post from Bruce Lee about fearing the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. This is not a hard business to build, but by the same token, it's a business that's easy not to build. If you have income coming in from a job, if You can pay your light bill, you can pay your mortgage, you can make your car payments. Takes the urgency away. You have to go into your business with the mindset that this is something that I have to do. And that's why they always tell you in network marketing, what is your why? When you bring somebody into the business, what is their why? You need to know what the why is for everybody that you bring into the business so that you can remind them when they don't follow through. Mary, you told me that you needed this, right? And I told you, if you want to be successful, you need to be talking to 5 people a day, Monday through Friday. You don't have to go after your friends, but there's certain fundamental things that you have to do. I am here to help you. I am here to support you. But I can't help you and I can't support you if you don't do the work. Do the work, and I will help you cross the finish line. Do the work. Conversations is what it's all about. Let me look here. Alan, let me bring up Alan's page. Now, whatever is preventing you from reaching your goal, okay? Let me come over here because your issue could very well be other people's issues too. So let me look.
Morning, Max. Good morning, Max.
Well, actually, it's morning for you. It's evening for us here, or we're approaching evening. So what's the issue that you're having with LinkedIn?
Well, I started using Recruiter Lite a couple of days ago, or 4 or 5 days ago, and I connected with a lot of people, and they said I'd reached my maximum. Can't remember now whether it was for the week or the month.
Okay.
But they say Recruiter Lite allows us unlimited contacts.
That's right. So what I suggest you do is go to the support session. Just, go into your profile under premium features.
Yep.
And then find support and literally create a ticket. Because now, of course, it depends on how many people you're trying to connect with on a daily basis or a weekly basis, but there's absolutely no reason why you can't be reaching out to 20 people a day, 100 people a week. That's not unreasonable. And
I reached out to a lot more than 20 a day. I was probably could have been 50 or 100 the first day, and then they blocked me.
okay, lesson learned. You can't do 100.
Okay, found that out.
Okay, right. So keep it, excuse me, keep it at Are you able to search again? Did they let you back in?
I haven't tried this morning, but I will later.
Okay, so what you do is tops, reach out to 10 people.
Yep.
No more than 10. Okay, now the thing is, if you have an idea, I mean, let's face it, you're building an ASEA business, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there are certain types of professionals that would be naturally would naturally appeal to your business. They're natural, they're all kinds of professionals that are into health and wellness. You don't need to do 100 a day. Number one, you can't handle 100 a day. You can't communicate effectively with 50 people a day. It's too many. So just like you go to a restaurant, you go to a market and you want to buy a tomato for salad, you know how to pick out a ripe tomato or a tomato that's going to be ripe in 2 days, as opposed to a green, right off the vine tomato. It's the same thing here. You want to be, it's not, it's quality over quantity. All right. So, in fact, what I would do is initially 5, do 5 a day first week. Second week, come back. And when they say, unlimited, they mean unlimited within reason. 100's too many. 50 a day is too many. You can't possibly communicate with that many people. Quality over quantity. The first 3 messages that you have to start a conversation are qualifying people as you go. Initially, a percentage of the people that you reach out to okay. So Debbie wants to know, where are the connections that you requested? You go to your network. I got 63 invitations. So I'm going to click on these, get these out of the way. And then over here, I can see the messages I received, and over here, sent. You can see the messages that you sent out, and you shouldn't send out more than, like I said, 10 a day. That's all, just 10. The more you do this, the better you're going to get. The better you get, okay, you still, on a daily basis, when your business is cooking, when your business is running, there's still nothing to stop you from reaching out to 5 people a day. 5 a day. You always want to keep the pipeline filled with new people. And the 5 people that you're going to try to connect with 5 months from now are going to be infinitely better than the 5 or 10 people that you're trying to connect with today. Why? Because you've gotten, number one, you have a better idea of who you're looking for. You're going to be a lot more selective about who you start with. Okay? Now, Caroline, tomorrow, I will jump into your account. We'll look at those conversations. Okay, now Debbie writes, when I got stopped by LinkedIn, I went to some of these people that I had sent connection requests to, and I withdrew them, right? Now, especially if you've been doing this for a long time. Let me. Debbie, when you did that, how many people,
Hi, Max.
yeah, hi. When you went in here, how many people did you have?
Well, it's interesting. So I haven't been in here in a while, and right now I have 2 pages worth. I just thought I might just I'm just going to delete some that have never accepted. But in the beginning, LinkedIn would shut me down for a couple days. And then when I would go in and delete some of the ones that I sent out but not accepted, then they would open it up because who knows their exact ratios, but I think that plays a part in it.
Yes, in fact, you want to keep the number of pending connection requests to under 500. It used to be if you had 1,000, they wouldn't let you send out any new ones. Okay, so
Mhm.
you can come down here and you can see this is somebody from 6 months ago. Just withdraw. Another person. Six months ago. Take them off.
Yeah.
Okay. You can keep them. I would say keep them for maybe 4 months. And then take them off.
Yeah, and they say you have to wait 3 weeks to be able to send them another connection request, so that's not long
Well, right, but
if it's the right person.
right. And so many times, you can come over and you could bring up somebody's profile. Okay. Now you come down here and you look at activity.
Right.
No posts. Hasn't commented in 4 years. 4 years.
Yeah.
So what you're going to find is quite often the people that are sitting here are inactive. That's why now we want to make sure that before we send somebody a connection request, that they're active. Posted something a year ago. Okay, so let's look at images. Articles. But what you're really looking for is posts and act. Now they're giving you activity. What did they like? What did they like? Okay. If they haven't liked something or if they haven't made a comment, take it off.
Right. That's a good idea to check.
And you're going to find when you check, there's a reason why.
I do find occasionally people may respond but don't post or comment or do anything, but I think that's rare.
Well, yeah, but see, the thing is, when we judge whether we connect with somebody based on their posting activity, posting is probably the least thing that they will do. People will make a comment, people will react
Right.
to what they see other people do before they will post. So when LinkedIn opened those features up to everybody, they made it easier to pick out the people that you want to talk to. It's a very, very straightforward, simple process.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, right. So basically, you go over to your network, you check, and you've got received invitations and sent invitations. Now, again, it all comes down, and I can't emphasize this enough. I can go over here and I could bring up Sam. Now, I've been talking about Sam. It's one of my favorite success stories. Okay. So if we turn around and look at Sam, Sam knows who he wants to talk to. He knows. And he's got it all worked out. I've been signing up people with $5,000 most of the time, and some are upgrading to $15,000 after a few months. 5,000. He sent me this message. I've added 21 people in the last 3 weeks. That's one a day. It's one a day. How does that happen? How does it happen? He knows exactly who he wants to talk to. Out of the 4,700 people that he was already connected to, it was easy for him to pick out the people. Let me flip. Let me just come up here. So he knew specifically who he wanted to talk to. And we broke it down. He had 47, let me find it. He had 4,700 connections. So, for example, Doug, you've got 18,000 connections. Now, where is it? Okay. So there is a percentage of people that you're already connected to that could very well be prospects. You're already connected to them. We went in and we did a count. Investors, business owners, bankers, Forex people. So out of 4,700 people, he had 1,738. 37% of his connections are prospects. So there's going to be a percentage of the people that those 18,000 people that you're connected to already that could very well be prospects. You know, things change, or they could lead you to prospects. Then it's just a matter of striking up the conversation, but you have to be the person, or you have to be perceived as the person that can solve their problems. Now, you're listing an awful lot on your profile. And, you know, my suggestion, well, we'll talk about that. Let me know, Alan. You know, that they'll let you do that because they will not, 100 is over the top. That they won't let anybody do that. When they say unlimited, they mean reasonable. Reasonable 10, 20 people. So go slow, build it up, and you'll get where you want to go. You'll all get where you want to go. Our first session in boot camp tonight is at 9 o'clock. And for those of you that have been in boot camps before, tonight's going to be a real shocker, a good shocker. So tomorrow at 9:30 and at 1 o'clock, we got 2 more Ask Max sessions, but I want all of you to think, what is holding you back? Because you have to address it. And if you think you have a mindset problem, let me tell you what cures a mindset problem. Activity and success. Okay, activity and success. This isn't hard. The more you do it, the better you get. The more you do it, the more successful you're going to be. We'll catch up to some of you tomorrow. Otherwise, I hope to see all of you tonight in boot camp. Until next time, best of luck in building.